Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
How are you today, student?
Fine.
Okay, I hope that everybody is fine. I'm fine too. And please, Atila, lead your friends to pray together, okay?
Attention please, before we start our lesson today, let's pray together. Finish.
Okay, student. Before we start our lesson today, I will check your attendance today. Atila, please raise your hand. Okay, Dava, raise your hand. Adinda. Okay, Diva. Okay, Samantha. Rahel. Fauzan. Dennis. Haidar. Sasa. Gustan. And Iflamdi. Okay, I think everyone is present. Now, student, are you happy today?
Yes.
No, are you tired? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone please? Wait a minute, yeah. Are you tired today, student?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please share your experience today? Why are you tired? Anyone has idea? Please. Are you tired today? Okay, Fauzan, tell me your activity for today.
My activity for today is studying and studying.
And it is tiring for you?
Yeah, little bit.
Okay. But you must be happy, student, because today we will start our class, okay?
Yes.
Okay, and then I have a question, student. Why we must study English in our life? Samantha, please, do you have any idea why people should study English, please?
Because I think English language can be useful for our future, like talking to other people from other countries like that.
Okay, good job. So please be motivated to always study English, okay? Okay, everybody, are you ready to study today?
Yes.
Okay, today this is our agenda, student. We will have this agenda, having discussion, working in group, and proposing your argument. You will do a little debate, okay? Are you ready for this agenda, student?
Yes.
Okay, now I have two pictures, student. The first one is like this, and the second one is like this. The first question, what are the students doing? Please raise your hand. Anyone has idea? Okay, please, Fauzan.
The students are doing their national examination.
Yes. Please give a applause to Fauzan, student. This is national examination. Okay, and then the second. What do you think about the benefits? It has benefits for ujian nasional. What do you think the benefits? Anyone has idea? Benefits? Do you know what benefits? Yes.
I think it's beneficial for me because it's only three subject to learn, and if we get other than three subject, we set the
other.
the
Okay, give a applause to Maria. Good answer, student. Because only three subjects, and you will be safe for other subjects, right? You can concentrate on only mathematics, language, and science, right? And then the last question, student. What do you think the weakness? Do you know weakness? What is weakness? Yes, kelemahan of conducting national examination. Please raise your hand if you know the weaknesses, the minus point of national examination. Please raise your hand, student. Yeah, please, Sam.
I think if we are studying hard and then we get a low score, then we will get
Depression.
depression, and sometimes our parents doesn't like it when we have a low score. That's
People
all.
close to Samantha. Low score will make your parents mad, right? Will make your parents angry. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then people will push you to have a high score to go to the high school, right?
Yes.
To go to the university. So this is no weakness. If you have a low score, you will get depression. You know depression, student?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know there is this text in which there is a benefits and weaknesses in the same text. Okay? There is one specific text which consists of the benefits, the plus point, and then the negative point or the weaknesses. Okay? So I can summarize, student. The first one, the topic, the beginning of the text, the paragraph 1, will consist of a statement of the issue. This is about national examination. This is the introduction of the issue. And then, the second part will be the supporting argument. Like what, who, what's it? Oh yeah, Haidar, yeah. Haidar said that it gives lots of benefits. And then, Samantha said, this is the contrastive argument, that there is a negative point of national examination. And the last is the conclusion, whether the government will conduct national examination or not. And the text is discussion text. You will have this text in your ujian sekolah, in your school examination. And the name of the text is national examination. First paragraph will be statement of the issue. The second will be pro arguments, and the third will be contra argument, and the last will be conclusion. Okay? Do you have any question about the pro and contra argument? Everything clear, student?
Yes.
Okay, for today, student, I have these 3 issues. The first one is the government will support the use of public transportation. The second one is the government will support the import of rice from Vietnam. And the last is the government will ban the production of plastic bags. So I want you to be in the group. 3 of you will work in one group. But before that, I want you to raise your hand to be the captain. Please, who won't be the captain? Sasta, you can be the captain. Okay, 2, Sam?
Yes, ma'am.
Vinit, 1, okay. Arina, please raise your hand as the captain. Samantha, okay. Please, 6 of you come here. Okay, student. Okay, Sam, you may come here. Sam, Samantha, come here. Okay, now, captain, please choose one. Who will be in the government will support the use of public transportation? Issue 1. Okay, and who is? Adinda. Please, Adinda. Okay. The government will support. Who do you choose? Pro or contra, Fauzan?
I will choose
Pro. Okay, and then Adinda?
Contra.
Contra. Okay, good. And next, the government will support the rise of Vietnam will be Attila and Sasta. Attila will be
The pro.
pro and
I will be the contra.
nice. And then the last is issue 3. Who will be in the issue 3? Samantha and Haida. Samantha will be?
I will be the pro side.
I will be contra side.
Okay. And the other, please, you may choose your captain. Okay, student? Okay, please do your work with your captain. Please, captain, back to your group and make 3 group. Okay?
Berarti untuk ini kalau misalnya mereka gitu aja. Kalau misalnya mereka tentang kayak apa sih namanya pencemaran lingkungan loh.
Juga kalau misalnya kita pakai bag kan sama jadi
Ya
juga bisa
merusak untuk apa hutan. Ya itu ganti produksi plastik itu. Plastik kan juga banyak kan dipakai. Itu sama aja. Ya,
uang. Nah, kamu jelasin semuanya itu apa? Enggak. Argumen kenapa kamu pilih ini? Ya cuma buat menghemat uang. Lah, menghemat uangnya itu buat apa? Apa aja dalam di debat itu mesti kita butuh harus ada informasi lanjut.
peningkatan penduduk menyebabkan peningkatan penduduk di Indonesia dan apa persentase peningkatan penduduk di Indonesia gitu. Indonesia pada
This for someone to get work each day. Work be necessary for part the car industry, and car makers would most likely lose their jobs, and car companies make licenses very bad. There are many people who also lose their jobs. People like conductors, architects, and many other people wouldn't have their jobs anymore, because their service would no longer required. Some public transportation is necessary to slow this way drastically.
an idea that would try to allow people to buy a year-long a route to pass exchange for a single fee. Payable at the same time that they pay their local government taxes. Transport is going to success. Apa sih? Success. Itu ya. Success. It is also necessary to provide better public transport between urban center and from the countryside to urban center. Many people who visit the urban center do not live within that conservation public transport to and from the countryside or even the near town is working on non-existent at least defined from home because a small industrial estate across town are often difficult or even impossible.
Okay, Captain, please do your best and make sure that every member has good arguments. Okay, Captain? Okay, nice. Adalah finish. Okay. Debate. Okay, students, let's make 3 tables and 3 tables because you will face to each other. Okay, let's stand up, everybody. ini dibuang. Yang debat kan 3 orang lagi. Oke, seperti itu. Mundur lagi kita. Ya, yang bergambar meja diluruskan. Ambil meja nggak apa-apa sih. Oke, inilah yang akan menjadi bebannya ya. Lagi. Kertasnya diambilin silahkan. Sultan, seperti mana? Aura dan pakai tisu lagi ya, sama diambilin tasnya tolong. Ustaz ambil satu meja di situ. Tadi yang pakai anyone, sahabatnya ambilin semua punya siapa ini? Tas juga. Oke. Ustaz, please give you. Are you ready, student? Yes, ma'am. So, now, this is the motion, and we will start to debate. Are you ready, student, to show your argument? Yes. Really, are you ready? Will you win or lose? Maybe win. What is your target? You want to win or you want to lose? You want to win. Okay, so now, please welcome the first issue. Government will support the use of public transportation. Okay? Before we start our debate, we would like to know the meaning of this issue. Anyone can please translate first issue into Indonesian version? Yeah, this Sultan. Can you please speak louder?
Pemerintah akan mendukung penggunaan transportasi umum.
Okay, public transportation. And here, I will. So please be careful with the word public transportation, student. Okay, public transportation. Wait. that's the topic. Okay, so we must be careful with the word public transportation. Coming from the word public, umum, transportation, transportasi. Let's repeat after me, student. Public transportation. 1, 2, 3.
Public transportation.
Public transportation.
Public transportation.
Good. The next, student. Anyone want to translate number 2? The government will support the import of rice from Vietnam. Please, Shia.
Pemerintah mendukung kegiatan impor nasi dari Vietnam.
Okay, import. Bagus. Import is taking something from
Another two.
another country to Indonesia. Okay? And then the last, the government will ban the production of plastic bag. Anyone know this word? Ban? Yes. The government will ban the production of plastic bag. Anyone have idea the translation of this issue? Please raise your hand. Okay, please, Master.
Pemerintah akan melarang produksi penggunaan kantong plastik.
Yes, plastic bag. From the word bag, tas, plastic, plastic bag. Okay, student, you understand? Now let's start debate. Issue 1, please the captain raise your hand. Okay, pro and con. No, you are not issue 1. Yours. Please, captain and your members come here. And this is pro and this is contra. Okay. And Gustav will be in the middle. Gustav will be the timekeeper, yeah? Gustav, can you please take one chair? Satu chair. Di sini, Gustav. Timekeeper. Please welcome to the first debate, yeah? And I will give you some assignments. This is your student seat, student. Okay? I will give you student seat and write down the issue and then please listen to the argument and make the summary of the argument. And then please give your feedback. It is logical or not? It is good or not? Okay? Okay. Yes? Yeah. More than 2 minutes is okay. You say speaker 1, 1 minute, something. 3 minutes, 25 seconds, something like that. Okay? Don't forget to write down your name. Don't forget to write down your name, yeah? Okay.
Kamu kan katanya kan? Itu tadi
What? No, it's free. Okay. Speaker 1, are you ready? Okay. Speaker 1, who is the pro? Pro? Okay, pro and contra. Okay. The pro will speak first. Ladies and gentlemen, you must get ready and listen to the argument. Okay. Whether you are pro or contra. Thousand will speaker 1 and speaker 2. Okay. The other, are you ready? Okay. Thousand, please, the time is yours. Speak louder. Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today in here I'm going to give you guys my argument becoming a pro of the government will support the use of public transportation.
Okay, so the first one is improve community health. For decades, urban planners have looked at public transportation to facilitate improve in community health and well-being. So that people in the community can have a good oxygen for breathing, and public transit riders must walk from their front doors to nearby transit stop and back, which increase physical activity to help address the modern obesity epidemic. In fact, it's possible that people can achieve the detriment of daily physical activity recommended by using public transit. The second one is saving expenses. Public transport fares are cheaper when compared to private vehicle. With a cost of 5,000 Indonesian rupiah, we can travel cheaply around the city. We can't forget for some with our personal vehicles, such as dressing up for the vehicle, paying taxes, and paying for parking spaces too, and etc. Also, today's public transportation already provides cashless service using an e-money or an e-wallet, so passengers don't have to bother carrying cash around this pouch. The third one is reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Controlling the carbon footprint by reducing the house effects. The use of private vehicles by using public transportation help reduce greenhouse gas emission as well as helps go green program. For example, if you guys don't know, one bus can produce the same effect as 55 private cars. So by using one public transportation, we can reduce greenhouse gas emission. That's all one.
Okay, give applause to Pausa.
Speaker 1, your time 2 minutes, 23 seconds.
Okay, good job. Someone from the Kontra, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In here, I'm going to answer the contra side of public transportation. Is most families have several cars, and one is used just for someone to get to work each day. This wouldn't be necessary if it wouldn't hurt the car industry, and cars makers will most likely lose their jobs, and cars companies may collapse, which is very bad news. There are many people who will also lose their jobs. People like conductor, parking cops, and plenty of other people wouldn't have their jobs anymore because their service will be no longer required. Some people public transportation cities are already terrible. This will be increase the strain. Some public transportation networks are already crowded and unreliable. With increased customer and pressure, these networks would manage. If it was free, companies would not be expected to provide top service because they are not paying customer. Generally, when you pay a little bit more, you are paying for a good service. But if you aren't paying anything and heaps of people are using the service, you can't expect top-notch customer service. Generally, people look after paying customer more. If it was free, companies could lower their service under the excuse that is customers aren't paying anything, so they should just get what they're given. Many people dislike public transportation and still would not use it. Many people will stick to their cars, and some will even stop using public transport because with it be fine. So many people will using it will become a mess and be way too cold.
Okay, give me last the transportation, yeah. Many people dislike transportation, but Fauzan say that public transportation is easy and also it will not leave us pollution. Are you confused now? The public transportation can be a pro or contra, okay? Okay, the next speaker will be second speaker.
Your time 2 minutes 8 seconds.
2 minutes, okay, thanks. And then second speaker, please. Okay, Victoria, please. It's okay, only only 1 minute, it's okay. Okay? Just speak louder.
Hello everyone. Next time I will give reason why I support using public transportation. First, taking public transportation makes you have to move more. For example, when you have to walk to
Speak louder.
the stop.
Speak louder. Louder.
First, taking public transportation makes you move more. For example, when you have to walk to the bus stop station to your destination. This includes short forms of exercise. The movement of the body makes blood flow and supports the body's organs to work properly. Very beneficial for those of you who rarely have time to exercise. So that it becomes healthier and good. Don't save energy because stimulate you and rest for a while. You can arrive at the destination without the risk of driving. It is focus space and it is time or the time that is hiding in the angkot driving driver for the city. Especially if you have to deal with traffic jams and traffic, it will thanks to the more people. So I will reduce the number of accidents because the driver is quiet. Third, no need to find a parking place because finding an empty parking space takes time. So taking public transportation can save time. Not if all the parking lots are full. Then you have to look around first, which makes you busy. This is the advantage of public transportation. If you have a prepared place, you must all be prepared to have a parking space that goes the public and take public roads. Thank you.
Give applause to me.
Speaker 3, your time is 2 minutes 8 seconds.
Okay, good job. So now we are going to say no need for parking area because we don't have any private vehicle. Good job. Next, let's hear from person name Diva. Oh, sorry.
And something is completely free, people tend not to value it all that much. However, it should be priced much cheaper than it is, so that for much urban journeys it becomes the obvious choice. One problem at the moment is that regular users can usually pay a pass which is reasonable value, but the casual bus user tend to get ripped off. This means that when somebody has a car, they are likely to use it, even if a bus exists. Another problem is that many bus routes do not connect well, especially in off-peak periods. One idea that would be worth trying would be to allow people to buy a year-long all-route bus in exchange for a single fee, payable at the same time that they pay their local government tax. If urban public transport is going to success, it is also necessary to provide better public transport between urban centers and from the countryside to urban center. Many people who visit the urban center do not live within that conurbation. Public transportation to and from the countryside or even the near town suburbs infringing on non-exchange. At least it Britain. I fully identify with the point that journeys such as getting from home to a small industrial estate across town are often difficult or even impossible.
Now, it is difficult to get public transportation in rural area. in a very far area, it is difficult to go to the public transportation. They need to walk. For example, someone who lives in Peninggaran, student, is there any bus in Peninggaran like that? It is very little, okay? So the people must walk to get the bus, okay? So the choice of the transportation is motorcycle, okay? Let's hear the answer for the last speaker of the pro issue. Give applause to
in my opinion, the use of public transportation can reduce the greenhouse effect because if everyone use their personal vehicles, the smokes from the vehicle will cause the greenhouse effect to get bigger on the country if everyone use public transportation. The pollutant in greatly cause the greenhouse effect will also decrease, so it can make the temperature on Earth not too hot. Kemudian will in addition the use of public transportation can also save your expenses because by using public transportation you can save costs from transportation.
Okay, give applause to Bagus. And now let's hear from the last speaker of the contract group. Please welcome Rana. Oh yeah, Rana. Who's that, please? How many minutes?
Speaker 5, your time, 1 minute, 10 seconds.
Okay, good job, good. You did a great job. Yeah, Rana, please.
The importance of making it free for people who don't have money and can't get to work because of it. Why? 1. People who apply for jobs should know where their job price is. You apply for jobs without knowing where your job price is. And even if you know, you're still being stubborn and take the position. 2. Even if those people are being stubborn and they still take the position, there's nothing government can do with that. Look, when these people want this position, they should know the consequence of having a very tough job rest of this. And when the consequence is they have to pay some amount of money because of applying for a far job price, since these people will get money by their job. So that's why this consequence belong to them.
Okay, give applause. I think there is no winner because two group can show the argument well. The public transportation pro, you are very good by giving us the air pollution and blah blah blah, and also on the contra, you give us the logical reason why people dislike public transportation. Give applause for these issues. Then now we turn to the second issue. Yeah, amazing. Okay. The second, yeah, you make it quick.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing here to explain our support of this issue is the government will support to import rice from Vietnam. Right, let's get into it. My first argument that depletion of rice stock in Indonesia. We all know that Indonesia is the third largest country that produces the most rice in the world. But even though Indonesia is the third largest country that produces the most rice in the world, it still needs to import rice for almost every year. Although usually not only to maintain the level of rice reserves, but this situation is caused by farmers using suboptimal agricultural techniques coupled with high per capita consumption of rice. Given that Indonesia's population consumes large quantities of rice, and given the risk of becoming a rice importer when food prices rise, which burdens poor households because they spend more than half of their total expenditure on foodstuff. Indonesia places priority on to achieve rice self-sufficiency. In fact, Indonesia has the intention to becoming a rice exporter. So that's why I support this issue. That's all from me. I'm sorry if it's too short. Thank you very much.
Speaker one, your time is 1 minute 50 seconds, 57 seconds.
Yes. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm here as first speaker from opposition speaker, and I will not support the import of rice from Vietnam. There's a lot of reason to not support the import of rice from Vietnam. The first reason, in Indonesia, there's a 9.54% poverty people, and every time when the price of rice increased, there's 1.2 million people that being poor, and rice in Indonesia is 70% more expensive than in other countries. Second, not all Indonesian people eat rice, and Indonesia in 2017, Indonesia import 500,000 ton rice, and that's require a lot of money. So why we not? If you said that Indonesia must import rice from Vietnam to fulfill the requirements rice in Indonesia, why we not use our money to increase our agricultural business? So we can still eat rice, but that's rice from Indonesia, and the Indonesian farmers will get more benefits. And I will say
1 minute more. Sultan, don't take so long.
I will say that the farmers, a lot of farmers that got bankrupt because government regulation. This regulation, governments import rice from Vietnam. And if we see in our daily life, the rice from Vietnam is not more better than Indonesian rice. Moreover, Indonesian rice is not too expensive. It's more cheap than Vietnam rice. Indonesian rice is more cheap and more good. And if Indonesia have a lot of poverty people, why we can buy a lot cheap rice but have a good quality than rice than expensive rice that have a bad quality. So, and if you know that agricultural business in Indonesia get a little attention from government. So I hope that government not import the rice from Vietnam, but the government must use the money to increase our agricultural business, so we all can still eat rice, but from international town.
Next, please, the second speaker.
Speaker 2, your time, 4 minutes, 3 seconds.
Okay. Now, please, second speaker. Make it quick, yeah. 1 minute is okay, yeah. Yang belum maju, 1 minute is okay.
My argument is complex about the large number of people who are also part of the registered class and income in Indonesia. The increase in population concerns that the need for rice to increase the source of land in Indonesia itself restricted, as stated by the Central Statistics Agency. It estimates that the rate of population growth in Indonesia will reach 1.17% in 2022. This growth rate makes the demand for rice increase and the land used in distribution. That is the reason why we agree that the import of rice from abroad is very influential for the Indonesian population.
Kita applause to that one.
Speaker 3, your time, 1 minute and 7 seconds.
Okay, good. Next. Yeah, let's go, Jasmine.
Who would have thought that the increase in the rice price could increase the poverty rate? Every 10% increase in the price of rice will add 1.2 million new poor people. This means that when the price of rice rises, 3 people will be harmed and 1 person will benefit from the increase in the price of rice. In fact, according to the World Bank, rice prices in Indonesia are 70% more expensive than international rice prices. In fact, the price of rice is the key in everything poverty. It must be ensured that the price of rice is affordable, so that people who have gone up to class don't go down again. That's why we have to use local rice that is affordable and doesn't harm another people, such as small people and the government who spend the much state money. I feel sorry for the farmers if they don't grow rice because it's their job to earn money. The government doesn't want to import rice for Vietnam. If you want to import rice from Vietnam, think about the people too. The taste of the rice is also the same, just as delicious, so just use cheap local rice. Maybe Vietnam rice can use preservatives and bleach. The government can pay the rice tax. Maybe the people can buy the rice because the price is expensive. It's expensive because of the tax. Thank you.
applause for the judge.
Sir, for your time, 2 minutes, 13 seconds.
After this, make it quick ya. 1 minute ya. Only 1 minute. Please. Siap.
Okay. I'm from speaker 5. And this time I will say about my opinion. So Jasmine say we can buy some rice local.
Get ready
But,
ya for the third class.
Good from the business file, President Joko Widodo said that there's only a few Indonesian farmers, as many as 71% of Indonesian farmers get 45 years and over, and only 29% of those under 15 years old. That is because more millennials are more focused on technology, such as begin YouTubers, influencer, editor, and more than. This is one cause millennial to reduce interest in begin farmers. That is one of the reasons why we support the government to import rice from Vietnam. So that's all for me. Sorry if I have a mistake. Thank you, everybody.
Speaker 5, your time, 1 minute, 14 seconds.
Okay, please, the last speaker.
Hello everyone, I'm the third speaker as opposition team from issue 2, and here I will not support government to import rice from Vietnam. Indonesia imported 5,004 tons of rice in farmers' rice built up in the warehouse had been going on since early February or during the main harvest period on more than hectares of farmer land. The government of Poso Regency Central Sulawesi told the local agriculture service said that around 30,000 tons of rice for farmers are currently only piled up in mill warehouse because they are not absorbed by the market. At the same time, subsidized fertilizer price have actually increased. This makes that profits obtained by farmers are getting smaller. He is worried that the selling price of farmers' grain is getting cheaper due to the plan to import rice. This condition can be treatment to farmers who are members of the mainstay farmers and fishermen contact. Express the rejection of the government's plan to import rice. In addition to falling prices at the farm level, he also underlined that potential for a percent increase in rice production through January until April compared to the same period or the previous year.
Okay, I think two of them are give logical reasons why Indonesian will support importing rice or will not support importing rice. Give applause to all the members. And now let's invite the last issue. Please. The last issue. Thank you.
Tell you why I agree with the government of banning the production of plastic bag. Plastic bag, it can make a pollution, unhealthy environment, and other. Remember how plastic bags get into the natural environment, polluting nearly every part of the world? This means that they're entering animal habitats, posing a danger to animals' life. Plastic bags are often mistaken for food by animals and marine life. Of the bags may some leftover food in them that animals try to get. Wild animals don't know that they aren't supposed to eat plastic bag. They also don't know that they could quickly become entangled if they step on one, leaving them injured or causing death. If plastic bags are banned, the animals will thrive without plastic getting in their way. In addition of harming animals, plastic bag also affects human health. Tiny particles of plastic have been found in humans. They enter the food supply because animals are eating them. When humans eat meat, they are likely to getting those plastic bag particles from their food. Therefore, plastic enters their body. Scientists still are unsure what kind of damage plastic particles can do to the human body. They could add stress to the liver and affect absorption in the digestive tract. Also, the plastic bags entering waterways can clog them, which increases the risk of waterborne disease. You can be part of an environmental change by simply switching your shopping routine and using reusable shopping bags. Spread awareness of how plastic bags affects the environment, human health, and the planet, and encourage others to limit their use of single-use plastic bags. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, good applause to. Now this is the good side of plastic bag. Yeah. Oh no, the bad effect of plastic bag. And now we will hear the good effect of plastic bag. Please, who is the first one? Okay, so start please.
Okay, I am the opposite from government will ban plastic bag. So, moreover, while plastic bags are visible to us all, we need to remember that what is in them is often more harmful to the environment than the bags themselves. For example, products with heavy plastic packaging and container can weigh many times more than the bag. If something like that happening, we can do recycle. One reason why we must do recycle, as we know, many communities care about the environmental. Usually, they do useful things like recycling the products and creating of the like plastic bag or plastic trash. Related material like recycling bins all contribute to job growth in the economy. Recycling can be a source of good middle-class job for people without a lot education under their belt. Along with renewable energy, recycling is source of green jobs, which some say are critical to a strong 21st century economy. Plastic trash can make money too if you exchange it to the garbage bag and add application that names Rafael. Thank you. That's all from me.
2 minutes and 9 seconds.
Okay, please continue.
Okay, so I will continue the argument of my group. The first way we cannot use plastic all the time because our earth is too dirty and full of pollution. Our earth is too old. Cause how much pollution is caused by factories and household waste. Plastic is a material that cannot be decomposed immediately with the soil like other waste. Recycling plastic is more expensive than producing plastic. Even after being successfully recycled, the selling price of the plastic is much cheaper than the recycling price, so this loss makes many people prefer to produce more. Plastic is toxic to more environment. Usually, the final disposal of plastic is in landfills, oceans, and lakes due to limited space. Finally, the various plastic mats was can pollute. So before it's too late, where prevention can still be done, we must reduce and use for plastic on a regular basis. It's all for our own good, for a better future for the earth. Thank you.
Okay, give applause to Arina.
Speaker 3, your time 1 minute to 11 seconds.
Okay, good. And now please welcome the speaker 2 of Kontra.
I will say about the contract of speaker 2. Plastic weighs less than many of the alternatives, which reduce transport needs and therefore carbon emissions. Plastic helps comply with safety and hygiene standards and protect the product employed. Like medicines, plastic is durable, it doesn't like break like glass or disintegrate like paper. A plastic bag consumes up to 40% less energy to make and causes 70% less solid waste than a paper bag. Durable and waterproof, plastic bags are known for their durability. They are less vulnerable to tearing and are resistant to many chemicals. Although plastic bags seem to be generating a considerable carbon footprint on the planet and contaminating our oceans, cities should not be banned plastic bags since the benefits of plastic bag use far outweigh current alternatives. Plastic bags are simply practical, sanitary, and produce far less pollution. That's for all.
Okay, give applause to Haida. And please, Diva.
For your time 1 minute and 14 seconds.
1 minute 40 seconds. Good job. Next.
Not only harmful to health, plastic bags are also very dangerous if they are not disposed of in the right place. For the environment, these plastic bags will cause the of food waste, and impediments food are the fuels and will certainly harm our social residential environment. One of the dangers that can occur if plastic waste is allowed to accumulate without proper management is that it can pollute the soil and water in it. This situation is dangerous because it can reduce the quality of groundwater. That's why groundwater becomes toxic and very dangerous when used for everyday life. In addition to pollution, groundwater, plastic waste, and also cause air pollution when brought in the open. The reason is the smoke from the combustion can pollute the air around it. If inhaled, can affect the health of humans and other living things, including animals. Thank you.
Beautiful. And the last will be Darius. Let's hear from Darius. Yeah.
Your time 1 minute 22 seconds.
Okay, thank you. Let me answer your argument. I will answer point 3. Plastic have impact on the environment. There are still more harmful than plastic, for example, cotton. And if the use of plastic is banned, it will force us the use goes to excessive paper and damage forest and makes global warming worse. And also about coffee plastic wrap from the coffee wrap, we can make bag craft, and that can also be sold and can generate the economy with this craft. Okay.
Okay, thank you. All the groups have done your best and you give us the new horizon of the issue about, what is the issue? Yes, the ban of plastic bag. Give applause to the of today. Now you study a text, a specific text, special text, which consists of pro and contra, but with one text. In one text, there will be pro and contra. Okay, students? And now you understand that the text is discussion text. Now I want to ask you a question. In your opinion, what is the function of this text? Anyone has idea the function of this text? Why people write this text? Why people write this text? Please, Adalah, give your comment. Why people write this text? What do you think?
It's about discussion text, right?
Yes.
Because they maybe need some help from other people to solve our problem or something like that.
Okay, nice. Give applause to Adalah. Then what do you think? Why people write pro and contra in one text?
I think it's to make we have some opinion and from other people, and we can
Get together.
Get together in one, and we can choose the solution of another opinion.
Okay, good job. Okay, I got last here. So I think that's all for today. Tomorrow we will do the discussion, but with other topic. Okay, students?
Yes.
So